Hi, this is Dave Werhane, Director of the National Scouting Museum at Philmont Scout Ranch. Today I'd like to share with you one of my all-time favorite objects from the Philmont Museum's collection. It's a document that we procured about 8 years ago. And it's a very, very special document, both for Philmont as well as for our New Mexico history. It's this document right here. This is the original deed for land cut from the Maxwell Land Grant and sold to a man named Peter Joseph in 1861. It is one of the few documents known to have both the signature of Charles Beaubien and Lucian Maxwell. And not just is it the original land deed from the Beaubien and Miranda Land Grant, which later became known as the Maxwell Land Grant, but it's also an incredibly special piece of property. The description's a little awkward, so I'd like to show you on this awesome three-dimensional map of Philmont Scout Ranch. Let's start at the northeast corner. The northeast corner of this land description starts right here where the Cimarroncito Creek crosses the Santa Fe Trail. That Santa Fe Trail is now known as Highway 21, and right at that intersection is also the residence of our current general manager for Philmont Scout Ranch. The deed then uses the eastern boundary of the Santa Fe Trail going south towards the settlement of Rayado, but it doesn't quite make it to Rayado. Instead, it turns west and goes right up this little ridge line and along the south rim rock of Urraca Mesa. The land to the south of this was then owned by a gentleman named Jose Play. The land comes down here and then goes out and crosses to the main mountains, very interesting and open for interpretation, cuts across and goes up to what's now known as Schaefer's Peak, or the mountain between Urraca Creek and the Cimarroncito Creek. It then travels down this long ridge line all the way until it meets back up with the junction of the Santa Fe Trail and the Cimarroncito Creek. So what's so special about this piece of property? Well, if you've ever been to Philmont, you'll know right away what's so special about this piece of property. It encompasses what's now Base Camp, PTC, the National Scouting Museum, and a pretty important rock if you've ever been to Philmont. And that's this one right here. We call it the Tooth of Time. Guess how much Mr. Joseph paid for all this land back in 1861? $660. Not bad. So why don't you tell us your story about where and when you first saw the famous Tooth of Time. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.